Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Way 31 Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle here. Just thought I'd give you a quick little update before our 4 o'clock news about storms that we are tracking moving through North Alabama this afternoon. A few of these have had some warnings with them. Not have actually gotten any reports of some severe weather, but some of these potentially have been producing some hail, maybe up to quarter size, and also the possibility for some strong winds. Right now, the strongest storm of the day is the one in western Jackson County. You folks in Skyline, this is headed towards your direction, Scottsboro, kind of tracking in the same general area as well. And as we look at the big picture, although we had some showers and storms earlier back here in the northwest corner of the state, most of that's kind of fizzled out at this point in time. Let's kind of talk about, though, what's going on right now. I'll focus in a little closer here on Way 31 Triple Doppler on that strongest storm in particular here in Jackson County. Again, this one is located in the vicinity of Pleasant Grove Skyline area. Again, tracking its way towards Scottsboro, mostly building off to the east and the northeast. Lots and lots of lightning out of this one, possibility for some up to quarter-size hail. And this one is also capable of producing some very strong wind gusts, so we're keeping an eye on that. Right now, the strongest wind that we are seeing out of this in the brighter green color that you see around the Pleasant Groves area. Some reports of some power outages along County Road 17 just outside of Skyline, so that fits well with where we're seeing the strongest wind gusts right now. And that's really the main concern out of this. Keeping an eye on this storm. Have not been seeing any sort of rotation out there out of any of these storms this afternoon. So the overall tornado threat looks to be pretty low. And the threat for severe weather is not necessarily widespread enough that we are even under any sort of weather watch at the current time. So that's some good news. But again, these storms are packing a bit of a punch as they continue to move on through. Again, just a couple reports here. Power outage on County Road 17 just outside of Skyline. And we do have a report of a tree down in Trenton there in Jackson County along Alabama Highway 65. That is all the way across the road. So again, this kind of fits with what we're seeing on radar, which is some strong winds showing up here between Pleasant Groves and Skyline with this particular thunderstorm. Let me show you exactly how this one is moving. We'll put it back on the normal view here, reflectivity. And you can see the most intense part of the storm back towards Pleasant Groves. Lots of lightning here. This is kind of starting to fade a little bit in terms of the heavy precip, and we're getting new development off now to the east of this, near Skyline and just off to the northwest of Scottsboro. So it's possible we may see this part of the storm kind of die out and maybe a new one start to flare up here to the east of where we currently have what is ongoing. I'll run this back over the last hour. We'll kind of show you how this developed into parts of Madison County and then has really started to flare up as it moved into Jackson County. And again, you can see the new development here. So this is likely what's going to take over as this continues to build its way mostly off to the east. Do a quick track on this for you, show you where it is going to be headed here in the next little bit, particularly the new storm that is forming here. Probably going to stay a little north of you folks in Scottsboro, but let's do a quick look here. And also keeping an eye on just kind of what this storm is looking like structure-wise. Not really seeing anything of any concern, so that's some good news. I mean, it looks interesting here, but I think this is just the way it looks northwest of Scottsboro. We're not really seeing anything corresponding to any sort of circulation there, but that has caught my eye, so we will keep an eye on that. But again, the overall tornado potential really looks like it's not going to be an issue out of these. All right, let me get the latest on the track of the storm coming through. Moving east at around 35 miles per hour. So let's show you where that is going to take it. And again, it's very possible that we're seeing the original storm kind of fizzling on out and a new one taking its place to the east. So I'm just going to track the whole leading edge here. Scottsboro, you may get clipped. But right now, if the storm that prompted the warning continues to die out, the new one continues to flare up, may stay just north of you in Scottsboro. Here's the time of arrival, though. Again, if it clips by Scottsboro, the storm that's developing just north of you, 3:44 would be the time of arrival. So in the next 5 minutes or so, especially if you're north of town, you're going to be impacted by this. The Old Fabius area by 328 coming through Pisgah close to the top of the hour. Again, the main threats out of this are going to be strong wind, possibly some hail up to quarter size, although this time of year it's a little difficult to get that larger hail in most instances out of these thunderstorms, but certainly not out of the question. And as I show you, again, I'm just going to take a quick look here, make sure nothing crazy is happening, not seeing it, so that's good. Something that we're always doing, just kind of monitoring the storms, seeing how they're developing, evolving, tracking, all that good stuff. Here's your hail core, and it's not real significant, but maybe some smaller hail showing up here around Pleasant Groves and northeast towards the Skyline area. Again, damaging wind I think is probably our biggest concern out of this storm right now. We're still seeing kind of a pocket of stronger wind here around Pleasant Groves. It is starting to shrink a little bit. And again, that's fitting kind of with what we're seeing on the radar with the storm that prompted the warning maybe starting to fade and then new development taking place to the east of there. And we'll have to wait and see if that ends up posing a strong wind threat as well. But that's the main concern right now. Very electrical on this thunderstorm, even though it is part of it starting to fade a little bit. But this is the number of lightning strikes just in the last 30 minutes, more than 150. You can see all of them. Those are the individual lightning symbols that you see there. So very electrical. Again, right now, this is the action in Jackson County. There was another severe thunderstorm warning here for the northern part. It looks like that probably needs to go away, to be honest, because that storm that prompted the warning for severe thunderstorm warning, that one has kind of fizzled on out. So lightning and the possibility for some damaging wind, those are the main concerns out of this storm. As it's continued to track on through. Again, some hail, possibly another report here near the Pleasant Groves area, again, where we're kind of pinpointing the strongest wind in this storm right now of a tree down County Road 8 near County Road 15. So probably a few instances of that, some trees down as this storm potentially has produced some winds 50, maybe 60 miles per hour. Again, we're not seeing any circulation out of these storms. Really, we're not set up for that. But some strong wind gusts are going to be a possibility. Again, here's the bigger view. Earlier, the storms were out here into the shoals. This is where they kind of got going. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Lawrence, Limestone County, Lauderdale County as well a little bit earlier. And now everything's kind of shifting on off to the east. So this is likely where the most energy in the atmosphere is right now. There's nothing immediately out to the west. In fact, as I show you the bigger picture here, what we got going on, and then we're going to wrap this up. We'll be heading into our 4 o'clock news shortly. And of course, I'll have full details on your forecast then. But showing you the bigger picture here, regional radar-wise, this is kind of what we are looking at. Again, we had the flare-up of thunder showers, everything kind of shifting east. Notice there's no development out to the west. So I think when this batch kind of clears Sand Mountain, might be relatively quiet heading into the evening hours. That's been the latest radar trend. Other strong severe thunderstorm activity near Nashville into parts of western Kentucky. Again, for the most part, all this is building its way off to the east. We will watch back here towards Paducah. We are starting to see a trend of some back building into northwestern Tennessee, and just have to wait and see how far back to the southwest that goes. But otherwise, I think once this activity over Jackson County, also watching parts of Lincoln and Franklin County, Tennessee, kind of clears here in the next couple of hours, may not be a whole lot going on into the evening. Quick look here at that forecast. This is kind of the trend that we've seen. Yesterday, it kind of looked like we'd have these pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, and then maybe a more organized line or cluster of storms coming in through the evening. But some of the newest data that's been coming in here through the afternoon hours suggesting that evening activity may not come to fruition. So quick look here at future radar. Decent, off on the details, showing the overall activity though moving through. But let me kind of put this into motion and we'll show you how this goes as we head into the early evening hours. By 6 o'clock tonight, the activity that we have currently is mostly going to be eastern Tennessee, maybe into northwest Georgia, a little bit more activity heading into east central Alabama, off to our south and east. But again, what looked to be some evening activity is now not looking particularly robust. We might get a little more shower and thunderstorm activity mid-evening around here, But at this point, the atmosphere cooling. We've already had some storms kind of eating up some of the energy from the afternoon heat. By the way, we hit 90 for the first time in Huntsville this year. It finally happened for us. But these storms may not really pack too much of a punch as they move on through, but won't rule out a few of those through, we'll say 10, 11 o'clock tonight, and then we're probably going to be quiet as we head through the rest of tonight. Do want to let you know, if you didn't already see it here on social media or on our website, tomorrow is now a 31 alert day, as we are expecting a more widespread round of thunderstorms that'll be coming in on your Saturday. Just a quick look at that, and you can see this activity developing to our west, starting to move in through the late morning hours and continuing through some of the afternoon. And I am anticipating that there will be a severe weather threat with this, and I think more of us will be impacted than what we saw this afternoon, with that threat probably shifting out of here as we work our way through the late afternoon hours. So this is not going to be something that we're going to be dealing with for hours on end. Quick look here, another look at the radar, and then we are just going to wrap things up here. And of course, I'm going to have full details on your weekend coming up in your forecast at 4 o'clock. This is what we've got going on right now. Most of these stronger showers and thunder showers are east of I-65. We've got a few of those in Lincoln County, northern Madison County, and again, our strongest storm, although it is starting to weaken, here into parts of Jackson County, where we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for a little bit longer. The other severe thunderstorm warning here in northern Jackson County, again, that storm's really petered out, so that warning, it will be allowed to expire. This one will continue for a little bit longer for areas near, north, and east of Scottsboro there in Jackson County. And likely getting somewhat of a lull as we head into the evening hours. Again, I will have a full look at your forecast coming up at 4 o'clock. We're going to talk about tomorrow's 31 alert day, what things are looking like in terms of severe weather threat for your Saturday, and how the storms are going to play out for the weekend. It won't be a total washout. We'll be in and out of the wet weather, but I did want to give you a little bit of an update of what we've got going on this afternoon. Again, I'll see you at 4 o'clock. We will be, of course, live streaming that if you can't watch it on television, on our website, and also on our news and weather apps. But for now, going to wrap things up. I will see you, though, with another update coming up here on the TV side of things in just a few minutes.